cool. Janne Stark, Constancia. Tell me a little bit about the new album for Evermore.
Well, it's actually the first album that we've managed to get finished in such a short time, and for us, a short time is 3 years. And we this is the second album with the new the singer Pete Godfrey,
Right.
and the previous album, Brand New World, we felt that it kind of was a new step for the band, and we were really excited with Pete on vocals, because he kind of took a more of a part in the band, writing. Because on the first two albums, me and the keyboard player Michael, we wrote the lyrics and the vocal melodies, and Davey just sang the songs. He's a great singer, but we wasn't really involved with the songs. While Peter, he just didn't want anything from us. He did it all himself, and he's such a great singer, and he came up with stuff that we'd never come up with.
Right.
So after the previous album, we were really kind of excited to do more. So
Right.
And then I think it was like only about a year and a half after we'd released that album, Michael sent me a new song, and just what I thought about it, and then yeah, we started working on the new album. So and it's the new album is also it's slightly heavier than the previous one,
Right.
I think, and one difference is also that the previous album and the first album was produced by Fredrik Folkare, and this album is I mixed it and mastered it, and since I'm a guitar player, maybe the guitars became a bit more prominent in the mix.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
a bit heavier, and but we were really excited about this album, and we feel that it's our strongest album so far. So hope people like it.
Cool. Yeah, it's very good. I listened to it a couple times this morning. I really enjoyed it. So congratulations, man.
Thank you.
No problem. Now you got 12 tracks on there instead of the traditional 10. Was there a reason why 12, or maybe even you wanted more?
We actually I think we started out with around 20.
Right.
And in the first, the thing is that Michael, he writes a lot of music, and he also writes for Escape Music, and I think it's written for some other bands as well, and he's got some other projects all over the place there. And he sent me around 20 songs and asked me which ones I thought would fit for Constancia, and I picked out I think I picked out 10 songs there, because he sent one before as well.
Right.
Build This House was the first one that we did for this album, and then I picked out 11 songs from his like demos, and I came up with one song as well. So that's kind of how the songwriting started.
Cool. Let's go down track by track and tell me your feelings about each song. Let's start off with Evermore.
Yeah, Evermore was one of the first tracks we did, and it felt like a good starting opener for the album. And it's funny because it was actually Pete that came up with the. I mean, since he wrote the lyrics and the vocal melodies and everything, he came up with the title Evermore, and he actually came up with the title of the album as well, which is like a play on words with the IV, like four Evermore, and I think and also the lyrics on this album is. I haven't actually dug that deep into to Pete's mind,
Right.
but I think it seems like some of the songs are about breakups, and some of the songs are about, which was also on the last album, was like where the world is today and where we're heading, and what's what we hopefully what we need to do to get on the right track, hopefully.
Right.
And yeah.
Cool. Tell me about the second track, Feel My Heartbeat.
Yeah, Feel My Heartbeat. That was the first single from the album as well, and we felt that that was also like a really good chorus, like a melody that's stuck in our heads.
Right.
Um, and also when Michael writes the songs, he kind of writes he writes his keyboard parts, and it also writes like a suggestion on how the guitars should be.
Right.
And then he sent it to me, and then I listen to it, and I pick parts from what he's done, and I come up with my own parts as well. And I'm the only guitar player of the band, but I always write as if there were two guitar players.
Right.
So I write like there's one guitar player left and one right. And this was also one of the songs that I like. It feels like that there's like two guitar players or two guitar parts.
Right.
It's also one of my a song that I come to like very, very much from the album.
Cool. Let's go to Higher.
Yeah, and Higher. It was also it kind of. I mean, we've always. I came up with the name for our style as I called it mellowgressive, which is a play on words with it's melodic, it's a little bit progressive, and a little bit aggressive. And I think Higher is a song that really captures that kind of that term, musical term, because it's a bit progressive, and it has kind of the spacey things in there as well. And yeah.
Cool. How about My Redemption?
Yeah, My Redemption is actually a song that I wrote, and it's funny because one section from that song was actually I actually wrote that for Grand Design.
Right.
But then I felt that it was too good to kind of throw it away, so and it didn't get used in Grand Design. I wrote a lot of stuff for Grand Design that was never used, so, and I never throw things away. I save them, and then sometimes when I'm working on a song, it's like maybe have something that would fit in here, and I go through my archives, and this was one of the songs that I had an idea that's I felt that I should do something with this. So and I as well on this one as well in the chorus, I kind of I like the way that I went into a totally different key, but it doesn't really feel like it because it sings in a way that it's like the same key, but it's
Right.
it was a fun song to write as well.
Cool. How about Build This House?
Yeah, Build This House was it was the first song that Michael wrote for the album. It's actually the starting point of the album. It was actually originally he didn't write it for Constancia. He wrote it for because he was writing songs for I think it was the Turkish Delight project for Escape Music.
Right.
And he wrote a lot of songs there, and he sent this one to me and asked me to arrange and play guitar and bass on it. And he sent it to Pete and asked him to do vocals just as like a demo song. And
Right.
then it didn't get used for the Turkish Delight, and I had it in my archives. And when we kind of started talking about a new Constancia album, I said we already have one song that is a perfect Constancia song.
Right.
So we were just so we ended up Pete. I think he redid some of the vocals, and I just redid a few of the guitar things. But otherwise, it's like the original thing that we wrote first. And I think it's also a song that's it's kind of 80s in its style, and it's very melodic. And we also when we were asked to, because the album is also released in Japan on Rubicon Music, and the Japanese labels always want a bonus track.
Right. Yeah.
So what we did was actually we did this one in an acoustic version.
Cool.
So it's basically kind of the same song, but rearranged a bit and different vocals and acoustic guitars, and it works really well as an acoustic song as well.
Oh, cool. How about Live Life on the Run?
Yeah, "Live Life on the Run" was it was a song that came in at a later stage,
Right.
and it's also like a more of a mid-up tempo song that I think fits really well with the album concept as well. And it also a song that really grew on me.
Right. Cool. How about You Don't Know Love?
Yeah, "You Don't Know Love." That's also a really, I think it's a great melodic concept or idea from Pete in that one, and also a bit like a more touches to AOR.
Right.
And I mean, I'm a huge fan of bands like, for instance, City Boy.
Uh-huh.
And I think they were like perfect in taking the like slightly progressive influences and a big chunk of AOR and making it a really nice blend there. And I think this is kind of the way that we wanted some of the songs on this album as well to be. I think this is one of them.
Cool. How about Rise?
Rise is it's funny because it was actually Michael's least favorite of the album, and it was one of my top favorites of the album.
Right.
And it's the thing that I really like about it is that it's kind of melancholy in the way that he sings it, and also I love the way that he's done the vocal arrangements of the chorus. And
Right.
it's kind of different from the other songs, but I think it really has its place on the album. I really love the song.
Oh, cool. How about I Can't Believe?
I Can't Believe That This Is Love.
Uh-huh.
It's also one of the kind of the songs where I suspect that Pete has gone through a really bad relationship.
Uh-huh.
Because it's really I really um, it's like the sometimes I think with some of the band some bands I've noticed that the singer, if you're going through a rough patch like emotionally or in a relationship, it's a really great foundation for writing really good lyrics and
Yeah.
coming up with really good stuff. And I think this is one song that he really like dug deep into his himself and came up with this one. And I really love the melodies of it, and it's also a like a melodic thing with touches of AOR as well.
Right. How about Stand Up?
Yeah, and Stand Up is also slightly heavier as well, with kind of more guitar based.
Right.
I really liked when I recorded the guitar. The thing is that I have a studio in my basement where I record all the guitars and the bass as well. And I always have the same setup. When I record guitars, I have my Marshall, the Joe Satriani model, two cabinets and mic'd up, and everything is ready. And but what makes the sounds a bit different is like on this one I used an Explorer, which is really chunky in the sound.
Right.
And on one side, and I had a Gibson Les Paul on the other, which kind of they um, they kind of make the sound a bit fuller. And so you
Right.
have the Explorer, them it takes the heavy chunky parts, and the Gibson Les Paul that take kind of the upper parts. So that's one of the songs that I really love playing guitar in as well. And
Oh,
also I should also add that the thing is that we were Linus, the bass player, he left the band after the previous album for musical differences, and we were planning on having a new bass player for this album, but since I counted on us having like 6 years between the albums, I hadn't really started looking for a bass player. So when we started demoing the songs, I play bass as well. I actually started out as a bass player once upon a time, and I play bass on the Mountain of Power albums and the Bandolier Kings and a lot of the other stuff. and I play bass actually on an American band called Legend on their album. So it was natural for me to kind of, I always, when I write songs, I always play like a demo bass as well, even if there's another bass playing that is re-recording the bass afterwards.
Right.
So I recorded the bass as well, but then when it was time to kind of finish the album, we checked with a couple of bass players, but no one really fit, or they basically wanted too much money, or yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we figured, well, the bass playing is fine, so why don't we keep it? So that's it, yeah.
Cool, cool. How about the last track, Tears I Cry?
Yeah, Tears I Cry is one of those songs that is really the progressive bit in the melaggressive. I really like is Michael wrote the song, and I really like the way that it built up the songs. It starts out with like keyboards and the different sounds, and it kind of starts a bit like slow and builds up, and it has a lot of layers in that song as well, and it's a song, really fun song to record and to kind of arrange and to make it interesting. And I think it's kind of a long song, and it has a lot of different parts and stuff, but it's one of my favorites on the album.
Cool, cool. Now, do you consider Constancia your baby? You know, because like reading on Wikipedia about you, I got a little tired of reading. You like, you know, you worked here, you work with this band, you work with this, and then you started with like a different band, and I'm reading all the stuff, and I mean, it says you first started in '79 with Paradize and stuff like that, and like I'm reading, and like you filled in for people, you added different stuff. So is Constancia your baby?
Constancia is one of my many babies, but right now is my main baby. And the thing is that I usually say that I actually lack the ability of saying no.
Right.
So there's a lot of times when people ask me, "Oh, yeah, would you like to be in this project?" Yeah, it's like I love playing guitar. I love like interacting with people musically. And I'm currently actually recording 4 albums at the same
Yeah.
time. But since Constancia is the only album that is released now, and I really love the album. And it's since I kind of produced and mixed and mastered it, it became more of a my baby.
Right.
Even though Michael wrote most of the songs, I mean, I helped arrange them, and I produced and mixed, and it's always like you really put your heart into it when you're mixing an album. It's really like you're really nervous when the album is released, how it's going to be, what people are going to think about it. And well, we've had some great reviews, and it's yeah, it's my main baby at the moment. It is.
Cool, cool, cool. Now we met in Chicago many years ago at Melodic Rock and stuff like that when you were in Grand Design. Did you enjoy your time with Grand Design?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did. It was a fun couple of years, really.
Uh-huh.
And it was the reason I left the band was basically was geographical reasons. I'm from the southern part of Sweden, and they are from up around Västerås, around Stockholm, and
Right.
it's 550 kilometers away. It's like a 6-hour drive for
Right.
me, and I mean, I do like Def Leppard, but I'm at the time I was more like I was working a lot on the Mountain of Power stuff and the Bend All You King stuff, which is really 70s hard rock, and I was a bit more into that, and I felt I couldn't really contribute as much as I wanted to in Grand Design, and I felt that I wanted to kind of change the music, my musical landscape for around then. So yeah, I contributed on a couple of on I recorded 2 albums, and I did some guest spots on some more albums, and I did the logo and some layout and stuff. And I did help the band after I left the band with the layout for the last 2 albums as well. So I mean, we're still friends and everything.
Cool, cool. Was that the first time you got to play in the United States?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Wow, wow. Was that experience or what? How was that?
It was fun. It was well, we loved playing there, and it was great.
Right.
And great people and great bands, and the audience was amazing. So, and the thing is that after that, I recorded 3 albums with Neil Merriweather
Mhm.
from Las Vegas, and I did get the chance to play on at Count's Vamp in Las Vegas together with Mike Varney and Sean Williamson, who was in King Karma. It was just like I know Mike Varney from back in the 90s, and every time I'm in the US, I always go visit him in Las Vegas, and we sit up all night and listen to records, and we trade stuff as well. And he invited me to play together with him, and we came up with what songs to play, like 10 minutes before we were on stage, and we played some just some classic old like Going Down and old bluesy heavy rock stuff. So I did play one other gig in the US, but I'd love to come back. But yeah, it's tough with the with like work permits, and it's
Right.
quite expensive.
Yeah.
To come over, unfortunately. But yeah, and now with Neil, we recorded 3 albums, but unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. So
Right.
we're not doing anything else there. So yeah.
Cool, cool. You just mentioned to me that you're working on 4 other albums. Can you tell me anything about them?
Yeah, one is actually an English, a British heavy metal band called Nerve Star,
Uh-huh.
which is classic 80s heavy metal. And I mean, I have that in my blood from the Overdrive days back in the 80s.
Right.
And I was asked by a guy, Mike Dixon, to first I was just going to lay down some guitars on one song, and then suddenly I got more heavily involved with the band. So now we recorded 7 songs.
Uh-huh.
It's in the vein of like old Riot, Griffin, Vicious Rumors,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
classic US metal or early stuff mixed with new wave of British heavy metal. And the singer from Diamond Head, Rasmus, is mixing the songs now. So hopefully there will be a release this fall. Then it's a band called Eternal Wheel,
Uh-huh.
which is 70s influenced heavy bluesy hard rock. It's a Danish drummer and bass player. The drummer Kim was in a band called Dynamo, who opened for Deep Purple back in the 80s, and the singer is Steph Honde, a French singer who's worked with Vinny Appice and Doug Pinnick, and a great singer, like a David Coverdale type singer.
Right.
It's classic 70s riff oriented hard rock. Then it's a project which is actually, the name is Swedish, but it would translate to the Spear of Destiny, which is also 70s oriented riff based kind of basic naked hard rock
Right.
sung in Swedish.
Uh-huh.
And it's in the style of, there's 2 Swedish band, Prince Svart and Abramis Brahma. It kind of goes back to the style of like Mountain or that
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
early 70s stuff. And right now we are recording drums for that album, so that should be finished in the fall as well. The Eternal Wheel is actually, I think we have bass for 2 more songs, and then we're finished with that one. And we have we have the bass player from Hawkwind is playing bass on one of the songs as well.
Cool.
So we'll start mixing that one in about 3 or 4 weeks. Now I'm doing some guests, but I'm also playing in Falling Hazard, a Thin
Uh-huh.
Lizzy tribute band.
Right.
We were over in Ireland just a couple of weeks ago, and we played at the Phil Lynott birthday party in. We did one show in Dublin, and we played one show in house outside of Dublin, and it was just fantastic. It was packed with people, and I mean, we opened for Eric Bell from Thin Lizzy, and Bruce Shields, who was in Skid Row together with Gary Moore back in the 70s, and it was just fantastic shows. And we play a lot of shows here in Scandinavia as well, and we have actually written some original material in the old Thin Lizzy vein as well. So we were actually planning on recording an album, so we have about 20 songs written there as well.
Cool.
So I'll probably come to think of some more projects that I'm involved in.
Cool, cool. So do you ever take a break?
Nah, I'll do that when I'm dead. I also do a lot of like artwork and remastering for Cult Metal Classics and Regain Records. So for Cult Metal Classics, we try to dig up old both old records that were like rare stuff that was never reissued, and we reissue stuff, and also unreleased demo stuff.
Right.
And it's about I don't know if you know a Canadian band called Star Child. They released one album in '72. And we found some old demo material, released it on vinyl and CD. A Swedish metal band, Gotham City. They've been one of the most bootleg bands in Sweden.
Right.
Nobody's been able to get the band to kind of get a deal with them to reissue the stuff properly. But I worked for over 4 years with the members. I even though I knew them from before, it was like putting sneakers on a rooster. It was like impossible to get them to say yes. And we after 4 years, I finally got it. And now we are releasing their first single with a bunch of old demo bonus tracks, and the Black Ritz, the EP with a lot of bonus tracks, and the Unknown, the album with a lot of bonus tracks. And we're doing it like a box with replica of the old release and the posters and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully the fans will, the bootleggers will disappear, and the fans will get plus we also got the full story from the band. And funny thing is that all the old photos of the band were in black and white. And it's not until now everybody sees that the singer is a ginger. He's really red haired.
Wow.
So but I really love those kind of things. And I mean, my encyclopedias is where I got to like really dig down and find the obscure Swedish releases and stuff. And I really love doing that. And I wrote the liner notes and did the interviews with the band for these releases as well.
Cool. Well, Jan, it was great talking to you, and congratulations on Constanza and Forevermore. Can see you. And congratulations. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Thank you. Yeah. I hope everybody will check out and listen to the Constancia Forevermore. It's released on Pride and Joy Music, and we also released a limited vinyl edition. It's just 100 copies in purple vinyl, 100 copies in black vinyl, and it's available from my website, jannestark.com. And also, I can actually this is a scoop. We have just signed the first contract for playing the first Constancia live show next year. So we will play at least one festival now here in Sweden. I can't say which one it is yet, but Constancia will play live in 2025.
Wow. And when was the last time you played live?
We have never played live.
Wow.
All the members haven't even met.
Right.
The first time the band, which is not the same lineup as now, but it was with David Fremberg on vocals, was when we released the second album. We did we did 2 videos for the album. That was the first time that the members actually met in face to face.
Wow.
So we're really we already started like picking out what songs to play, and we started arranging the stuff. And also one thing that I was never really comfortable with it in Grand Design was the use of like backing tracks for backing vocals and stuff. And
Right.
with Constancia, we want to do everything live.
Right.
So we have engaged some extra musicians to play with us as well. So I have a second guitar player, Patrick Svard from Shiva and Arcado and Cloudscape, and we have Stefan Rosequist on bass, also from Cloudscape, and Marcus Serath from Allocate on keyboards. We'll play together with Michael. So, and it's of course me, Peter, and Pete, and Michael as well. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, congratulations. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you.
Later, man.
Later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.